Will there be any fallout?
Well, a lot of that depends on the decision-making of the president himself, too, who this point, Matt, at this point, is still, as of this morning, even after the publication of this full Signal group text chain, has said he's standing by his team, that it was, yes, a mistake that this journalist was inadvertently added, but because the attack against the Houthis went off perfectly in his mind, that no harm was actually done here.
Are there any real consequences? Are there any mechanisms to have there be things like Pete Hegseth, for example, be forced to step down? Is there any other thing, be it the Senate, be it some of these lawsuits that are popping up, that could have that type of consequence, or does it all come down to Donald Trump?
A lot of it comes down to the decision-making of the president and whether he would request or accept a resignation letter from any of the individuals involved, be it Pete Hegseth or Mike Waltz, who, of course, claimed accountability and taken personal responsibility for starting this chain in the first place. We could see congressional investigations into this. Obviously, there is the testimony happening today, but we've also heard from the Armed Services Chairman in the Senate, Roger Wicker, a Republican, who has suggested he would like an inquiry. But it's unclear where that would actually lead, keeping in mind that there are Republican majorities in both the House and Senate who, by and large, stay in lockstep with President Trump. And if President Trump is signaling he does not want his people to go, it is seen as highly unlikely that anyone would cross him on that. I will say, you mentioned lawsuits, Danny. We did see a liberal group, American Oversight, filing a lawsuit against some of these officials yesterday over essentially the records acts that bind officials, because some of these messages in Signal were set to automatically delete, which they argue is in defiance of laws that require officials to keep records of their communication. So we could see some of this playing out in court.